Welcome to another exciting edition of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And anybody who new to this channel has stumbled upon us, I'm Papergoy. I've got about 40,000 items listed on eBay and Amazon, work out of the house, one-man band, so I can give you some lessons on if you find yourself in a similar situation.
I'm Mr. Magazine with 500,000 items, a big warehouse, and 15 employees.
So today, we're going to talk about, I'm kind of a little bit scared. We got something big behind. What is that behind us there?
It looks like a big dog.
That is a big dog. Got to let the big dog eat. Today, we're going to talk about being the big dog in a category. And by that, I mean you define the category. And I know a friend of the channel, Auction Professor, talks about that all the time. He talks about it with all of his buttons that he sells, that he's setting the price on a lot of the buttons. And he's absolutely right that, as we talked before, let's just we'll just talk about trade cards because you've got a lot of trade cards up right now. Yeah. And pretend Auction Professor didn't have his up. I go and I start listing trade cards, and I start listing them at $5 a piece. And you have your employees hit Terra Peak, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Where are they going to price? What do they think the value is?
They're going to price them along Terra Peak's higher end,
But if $5 is the going rate on them, because that's what I price them and somebody else priced them at.
We won't sell them that cheap. Yeah, you can sell yours for $5.
But you'll put yours at $15.
Yeah.
However, I go and I list them and they sell at $35. Mm-hmm. Where are you pricing yours at?
Well, I'm going to raise mine, obviously.
$35.40.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the market is being set by people every single day. Don't be afraid to be the big dog. Set the market at a higher number than where it is, especially if you have the only one. Because I'll tell you what it is. Forever dealers have always said that I've talked to is you can always lower your price. You can't raise it.
Exactly.
And by that, I mean, I show up at your stand and I say, how much is this? And you go $10. And I go, I'll take it. You can't just go, I meant 20, 25, 30. Whereas I show up and you got it at 25 and I say, how much is this? And you say 25 and I go, okay. And I start putting it down. You can say, I'll take 20 on it. I'll take 15 on it.
Yeah.
So there's, as long as you're not outrageously overshooting, you're not asking $1 million on something everybody else is asking $7 on. I mean, obviously at that point you won't make the sales. Although, going to go off topic for a moment here. Do you remember, we're going 15 years ago.
Remember this.
There was a guy.
Well, obviously you've proven that 15 seconds ago I haven't remembered that. But we'll shoot for 15 years, see what happens.
There was a guy who would have an item, and he would price it at $1,200. And it's like a $40 item.
Yeah.
And he then would say in his listing, I'm kidding about the price, make me an offer. Do you remember that?
No, I do not actually.
And what he seemed to be trying to do was
get eBay.
It was on eBay.
Okay.
Yep. He seemed to be trying to get the traffic.
Yeah.
In other words, you do a search on it and you go, you see 20 of them up there, and they're all $40, and you see his at $1,200. What is your instinct?
Well,
click on it. Well, a lot of people they were going to click on his to say, why is his $1,200?
Right.
So he was doing that as a way to drive traffic to his listings, and it could be psychological as well. You could be thinking, well, I do kind of want that. He wants $1,200. I'm going to offer him $50, where everybody else has it at $40. Because you might think he's not going to take $40 on it because it's such a lower rate.
Yeah.
So kind of curious. I'd love to know if anybody has come across him in the last 15 years because I'd like to know if that business plan worked out for him or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know people are curious and click on, but there's also a group that would be like, he's nuts and like just stay away from him, which I would be doing.
So it's kind of an interesting way, though, to drive traffic to your listings. Definitely is.
Yeah.
And again, I guess that's what it's all about is getting people to look at the listings.
Yeah.
We ended up with this topic because you got an email last week from a gentleman who didn't like your being the big dog on I believe it was a knife or a military knife magazine.
yeah, that was a good one.
So
he was so upset.
So to set the stage, you had the only issue of it on eBay. It was the first issue. You had the only one on there, and you were asking $55 on it.
Yep.
I believe, plus shipping. So $60 all in.
Yeah.
And he made you an offer of $5 plus shipping, I believe, or maybe $8. He made you a very, very low offer.
Right.
And tell us what transpired after that.
I ended up declining that, and it infuriated him. He's telling me these are $5 magazines. Who do you think you are? This is ridiculous. And then I think he made another offer. He came back like at $6 or $7 just to say the same thing all over again. Who do you think you are? This is outrageous to me. And I said, if you can find it cheaper, obviously, God bless you. Go find it cheaper. If someone wants to sell for $5, $10, $15, but I don't think I've ever sold a magazine for $5 in 20 something years. I won't even go that low. It's not even worth it. $7, $8, $9, $10. But it was a first issue.
And it was 1980s.
Yeah, so you're talking
40 years.
40 years ago. #1 issue, great condition. Make me a $30 offer. Maybe I'll bite on that. But I mean, $5, and then he was going to report me to eBay, I think, right, or something like that. I mean, he went going on and on and on. And, it was just outrageous.
So once in a while, I like to have a little bit of fun. So he basically, Mr. Magazine turned the case over to me. We banned him because we don't really need this gentleman bothering us with lowball offers on this one item, because certainly it's much better than $5.
Right.
But Mr. Magazine gave me permission to contact him back. And I mentioned to him that you're offering basically $5. Have you been to the newsstand? A new magazine costs $9, $10, $11, $12 right now.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
to offer $5 plus shipping, admittedly, but you're still at $9, whatever it is.
Right.
To offer less than newsstand prices on a #1 issue that's difficult to find, that's 40 years old, we're not going to sell for that, basically was what I said. And I was polite and everything I mentioned to him.
Yeah.
He didn't much care for the interaction, because he came back that he buys World War II magazines all the time at $2 to $3 a piece. So I answered him back, and I said, I hope you can sleep at night, because you're paying $2 to $3 a piece for someone to ship it to you. Even if they ship it to you medium mail, which they're not allowed to do, it's costing them $2.89. They're losing money.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
then he came back, I said, well, so you mean $2 and $3 each plus shipping? So you're paying $6 to $7. That's a different dollar amount than $2 to $3.
Right, yeah.
Because people love to tell you the price, but not include the shipping price in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Try to get the price lower, and it's like, no, you're paying $2 plus $5 shipping. You're paying $7. You're not paying $2.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, well, that's great. And he went into how he's been collecting for 40 years, and he has this unbelievable collection. And I said, that's wonderful. And I'm sure for $2 to $3 each plus shipping, you were able to get some great magazines back in the 1960s or 1970s, 1980s. I'm sure you had great magazines back then.
Right.
So then, just to have a little bit of fun, I went online with an inflation calculator. And I said, we'll say you paid $8 back in the day for the magazine with shipping, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I believe the inflation calculator came up with $25. I said, so that $8 you spent in 1982 is $25 today.
Yeah. And like a regular common magazine, let's say, not the first issue of this. Yeah.
So I said, you're talking $25 in today's money for that $8 you spent back in 1982. Right. So now you're offering us 2021 $8. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Well, he did not like that either, as a matter of fact. So he completely, a long email, and then said, I don't need a reply back to this. So,
but he kept replying back. That's the funny thing. You stopped replying, but he continued to reply back, saying he wasn't going to reply back.
But he's never going to find that magazine again. He's not, because at this point you have made the market. You have it priced at $57, and anybody that knows how to research using Terapeak, who picks up that magazine, which there are not a lot of them out there, it is a difficult magazine to find, they're going to come on and they're going to say, oh, there's one available for $57. I want to make the sale. I'm going to give mine away at $35.
Right.
Anybody that knows how to research is not going to look and say, hey, there's one available for $57. I'm going to sell mine at $2.
Or 10 even, really. I mean, why would you?
So we've defined the market at this point. And again, it is a difficult magazine. You can't do this on the common magazines, because those come in all the time. You see the sales histories, and they do sell for $5 to $7. They do sell for. This is a difficult magazine. So be the big dog on a more difficult item. Another thing, you have to reset the market at times, and that would be where there are people that are charging the low prices. Let them sell through if it's something difficult.
Yeah.
And then raise the price and don't accept the low offer. And people will say to you, well, this sold for $14. That's great. There are none left on there. And that's why Terapeak is definitely your friend. When you do the research, see how many of them are out there. And if there's not a lot out there, don't be afraid to raise your price. Or if you think that it's rare or you've got a hook that nobody else has on it, don't be afraid to raise your price. And talking about, going to go a little off topic here, you are aware of the media mail rules, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I ship a typical Road and Track magazine media mail?
Absolutely not.
So I had a gentleman the other day who contacted me and made me an offer on a Road and Track. Now, I had free shipping on it. I did have it listed in 2017. It was one of the first items that I experimented with free shipping. At this point, I have free shipping and everything new I list. But back then, I was experimenting with it because you got a bump in the search results. You still do, but you did back then, and that's a common magazine.
Yep.
So I think I was asking $17 with free shipping on it, which, in 1960s, late 60s, or maybe early 70s Road and Track, I mean, that's a fair price on it. It's not outrageously expensive. It's not, I'm not giving it away. It's a fair price.
Right.
This gentleman offered me $4 on it with free shipping. And then to sweeten it up, he said, hey, feel free to ship it media mail. I don't care when I get it. So I ran some numbers on this. Let's say that I broke the rules and I did it the way that he wanted me to do it.
Right.
He's giving me $4.
Total.
$4 total.
Yeah.
Cost me $2.89 to ship it.
Right.
That leaves me $1.11 left over. The way I pack things between the envelope, the backer, and the bag, it cost me $0.25. So that leaves me, 86 cents left over.
Well, you still have your fees and cost into the item.
Well, I have 86 cents at this point.
Right.
Woohoo! $4, if you figure 14%, you're at 56 cents. Now I have 30 cents left over. If I put no value at all on my time, we're willing to risk my good name, break the post office rules in order to save him money, and found the item, I'd make 30 cents. So basically, he's asking me to put my good name at risk and break the rules to, best of all, make 30 cents for my time and trouble.
I get that all the time, the whole media mail thing. Well, first of all, I don't advertise media mail. I advertise first class and priority, and those are your options. And then instead of them asking me ahead of time, would you media mail it, which I would not, they don't. They go ahead and buy it, and then they want to work a deal of media mail then. That's where the issue lies.
I emailed this gentleman back and said, I'm not going to email it, and I would ask you not to ask me in the future to do something illegal. I'm a stand-up guy with a stand-up business, and I'm not going to break the rules. I would never break the rules, but the only way that I would even entertain his saying that would be, let's say it were a $100 magazine with free shipping, and he offers me $90 and says, you can ship it media mail. I would accept the $90, and then I would ship it out the proper way.
Exactly.
I haven't agreed to ship it out media mail. I would take it. And, now I'm still making money on it. And yes, when you add my shipping in, can I still make money? Yes, I could still make money selling it at $90.
Yeah.
One last quick little story about defining the market, and this was a negative definition of the market. And I went a little far to try to make the sale, and spoiler alert, I did not make the sale. A gentleman contacted me, and I had 3 science magazines from early 1900s, but they were science and industry magazines, so they were difficult to find magazines, more trade journals, more than they were anything else.
Right.
And I had those, and this gentleman asked me, and this is a little insider tip, on some of the old magazines, there actually is a list of advertisers. And along with putting the table of contents up, if there's a list of advertisers, I scan that as well. Because there are people that collect advertisements. Well, this gentleman saw the advertisements and saw that there was somebody in there he collected. And he said, on this magazine, whatever the name of this company is, has, each one has an advertisement. Can you look to see if they're different advertisements? And I'm looking at it going, okay, not a problem. I'm asking $25 or $28 a magazine, something
Right.
like that. I can go take a look on them.
Yeah, that's worth it for $50-$60. Yeah, for sure.
So I ran downstairs, looked, and the other thing was I picked them up all in the same collection, so they were all in the same box.
Nice, yeah.
So I grabbed the magazine, looked, and page 83. Okay, there's that magazine. There's that advertisement. Page 64 and page 101. Okay, yep, all three are different. So I went
nice.
upstairs, told him all three are different. Then he contacted me and said, "Hey, that's great. I'm interested. I did just pick up a couple of other magazines. Are they different than these?" And he sent me the pictures of the advertisements from the other magazines. I schlepped back down to the basement. Look, they're different. Great, they're different. He says, "Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm interested. I will give you $8 a piece, and you ship them out media mail."
Oh, God.
And I said, "You're offering me $24. A, you're asking me to ship it out media mail, which I cannot do
Right.
because we've just established there are advertisements in there.
Yeah.
Number two, these magazines go about a pound a piece. So you're talking 3 pounds. So if I ship them out, and they might be too big to fit in a regional box, so I probably have to ship them out. Well, I have to ship them out priority, definitely. But you're talking, what's a flat rate box cost? $12?
Yeah.
So you're talking $12 shipping probably for me. Maybe, depending on where he's at, I might be able to get off shipping it for a little cheaper, like $9 if he's in New York State, whatever. You're talking $9 to $12 of the shipping for me. He's offering me $24. And the reason why was because the other gentleman that he bought the magazines from charged him $8 a piece for media mail. $8 total with media mail.
Yeah. Some guy working out of his basement that doesn't care about breaking the law and crazy.
And I said, "Well, that's wonderful. We're not even close to making a deal. I'm sorry. Good luck finding these. And if you ever do want to find them, they're here."
Well, you've learned that ask him how much he's offering before you waste your time, right? In the future, I certainly would do that. If I'm going to look for these, sir, what would your offer be? And when he does that, well, it's not worth it. And I can't pay my employees to go up ladders for a few dollars a magazine.
And I guess my way of looking at it is I never thought to do that because that offer was so far out of left field
Yeah.
that it just never crossed my mind that you would want me to sell them to you for that price and ship them to you illegally.
And jump through the hoops of finding them and catering to every the first level of questions, and he had more backup follow-up questions, and yeah, it's totally not worth it.
Yeah, so I thought the sale was in the bag. They're difficult magazines to find. I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, $60 delivered.
Right.
I end up making, $40, something like that, $45. Hey, I'm more than happy to do that. But for him to offer me in the end $24, no money whatsoever to be made
Yeah.
on that over there. So that's a case where a small dog set the market. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I do have to reset the market by coming up with a more realistic price.
Right.
This is a 150-page scientific journal, of which, I don't know, 70 pages have advertisements in it.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece. It's uncommon items. There's no way that anybody should want to sell that for $8. Just should
Right.
not want to sell that because it's worth far more than that. Unfortunately, that didn't stop him from making me that offer. And you can't blame him for trying. I mean, he
Right.
did try that.
He didn't even come back for anything
He didn't
else,
come back
yeah.
with anything. He just said,
Yeah.
"Oh, no, I can't do that deal." So at this point, his collection is incomplete and probably will remain so. So do leave comments down below if you could. Definitely would appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Wanna be